Hey, what's going on, guys? Look, you probably found me online, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and you're serious about raising capital, maybe for your real estate deal, your business, or even your startup. And now, if you're watching this, you are probably in one of two spots. Either one, you're just getting started and just exploring what it would actually look like to raise money, and you want to understand how this process actually works. Or two, you've already tried. You've talked to a few investors, you've watched dozens and dozens of videos, and maybe even you've sent out a deck or two. Maybe you've raised a little money in the past and it's just not working how you want. Look, trust me, I get it. I've been in this game for many years. I've raised tens of millions of dollars for my own deals. And my team and I, we have helped founders like yourself and investors raise well over $1 billion collectively through my programs, my partnerships, and even my RIA firm. And I'll tell you right now, raising money is not easy. Look, the truth is this: most people never get funded. Not because their deal isn't good, but because they don't know how to actually position it, how to actually get in front of the right investors, or how to actually run a raise the way professionals do it. Look, there's a systematic approach to raising capital, and it's a learned skill that can actually be taught. And that's exactly why I created a system called Capital Unlocked. It shows entrepreneurs and investors and founders how to raise capital the right way, using real systems, using real psychology, and the same frameworks that I've used to raise money from everything from startups to large-scale real estate projects, and so much more. Over the past year alone, I have helped hundreds of people just like you raise millions of dollars, most of whom have had no investor network, no fancy accelerator behind them, and no idea where to even start. So whether you're just getting started or you're somebody that's already hitting walls trying to actually raise, look, this is a place for you. I'm going to show you exactly how to find investors, how to build real demand, and how to actually close capital, even if you've never raised a dollar before. With what I'm about to show you and talk to you about, you will discover how to access the trillions of dollars that are available from family offices, from high net worth individuals, and even institutional investors who are actively seeking deals just like yours. So let me share with you these 4 key things. First, the opportunity. Why right now there is over $7.4 trillion in US capital available and over $2 trillion in global private equity dry powder that is sitting on the sidelines. And how can you actually tap into it without wasting 6 to 12 months or more of your time? Number 2, who is this program actually for? I'm going to clear that up. We're going to talk about which founders are actually a right fit, who we're a right fit for, who's a right fit for us, and who's not. So you can actually determine if this is going to be your next step. And number 3, why founders actually fail to raise capital. There's 3 critical mistakes that cause most fundraising efforts to completely stall out, completely stop, and I'm going to show you exactly how to avoid them. And 4, a proven process. Our 3-phase system that takes you from investor ready to actively pitching to closing your raise within 90 to 180 days. So here's the reality. Look, the money's out there. The question is this: do you know how to access it and access it quickly and efficiently? And most of us don't. According to recent data, there is over $7 trillion sitting in RIAs, 401ks, money market funds just in the United States alone, and another $2 trillion in private equity dry powder just waiting to be deployed. Family offices manage over $3.1 trillion right now globally, with an expectation of that to grow to nearly $6 trillion in just the next few years. And they're actively seeking direct investment opportunities that are outside of traditional stocks and bonds. According to Knight Frank's wealth report, 70% of ultra high net worth individuals are looking to increase their allocation to private placements, private placement investments, and direct deals just like yours. The point is this: capital exists. Capital's out there. But most of us and most founders just don't know how to tap into it without wasting all of their time. So who is this actually for? Look, this is designed for serious founders who have an existing business with revenue or pre-revenue, and they have validated traction. Not just an idea. It's for founders who have their company set up, their LLC, their S Corp, who actually need capital to scale. Founders who are looking to raise $500,000 up to $50 million, whether it's for growth, for acquisitions, for fund deployment, and who are ready to start within the next 30 to 60 days. Business owners just like yourself who are able to actually invest in their raise to access our network and our coaching platform. Look, please understand, this is a done with you system. We coach you, we connect you, we give you everything that you need to learn how to raise capital and to connect you with the right people. But you are going to pitch your deal because no one can pitch your deal better than you can once you have the framework of a pitch, which we show you and teach you. And we teach you exactly what to say and what not to say. No one's going to pitch it better than you because you have the passion behind your idea. So who is this not for? Well, I'm going to tell you right now, this is not for first-time entrepreneurs with just an idea and no traction. This is not for dreamers. This is not for those expecting us to raise the money for you at a done-with-you price. And this is not for founders who aren't ready to commit at least 5 to 10 hours a week during the setup phase. So if you're still here, you're likely in the right place. So let's continue. All right, so a little bit about me. Here's my background. I have 15 plus years raising capital across real estate, private equity, and venture capital. My partners and I, we have raised well over $1 billion in private capital. Currently, we're in the midst of about a $1.5 billion raise. We just closed a deal for $500 million over in the UAE and Dubai. We are actively doing this every single day. I am a registered investment advisor. I have my own RIA firm, which we specialize in raising capital. That is what we do every single day. I'm also a fiduciary with my licenses, which means I'm legally required to put your interests first. Look, I've been able to scale and sell 4 different 8-figure companies, including 2 of them to a $30 billion private equity firm. And here's the truth. I didn't come from money. I didn't have crazy connections. I wasn't in an Ivy League school. I come from a middle-class family. My parents were divorced when I was 7 years old. And I remember there was a time that I was sleeping in a 1-bedroom apartment on a mattress with my dad. We didn't even have a bed frame. And that's okay, but that's how I grew up. But I was fortunate enough to be in a place that showed me what real wealth was. I built my first business and scaled it super quick, and we were operating on 4 different continents before I was 30 years old. I sold an insurance company that had 7,000 independent contractors, and I also sold 2 marketing firms. And look, I learned capital raising through trial and error. I had so many people asking me as I was talking to family offices and private equity funds and all these people about my companies, hey, Nick, can you refer us? Can you introduce us? Can you help us raise capital? And I did those things at first. And then I said, this is where I need to be. This is the space I need to be in. So through that process of selling those companies and dealing with all these funds, that's what I ended up doing. Personally, I'm super happily married. I'm very blessed. I have 2 amazing kids, 1 boy, 1 girl. And look, I know the grind. I know the hustle. For years, I would wake up at 4:30 in the morning every single day. Now I sleep a little bit later. I'm up at about 6 a.m. But now I get to prioritize my family time, which is amazing. I'm a super faith-based individual, and I believe in servant leadership. And before my business ventures ever blew up, I actually played professional golf. And it was a great time in my life. And I wasn't quite good enough, to be honest with you, but I was on some of the major tours. But what it did is it helped me understand competition, and it helped me understand resilience, which you need in business and you need in capital raising. So here's the reality. Through my advisory firm, we primarily work on very large-scale capital raises. Typically, $200 million is our bottom floor, and we go much higher than that. Those are done-for-you deals. Very established companies with infrastructure projects and things just like that. And right now, we're actually, like I said, in the middle of over $1.5 billion in raises, whether it's for real estate, for business acquisitions, and a lot more. But here's the thing. Not everyone needs that kind of money. And not everyone wants to pay the premium fees for a done-for-you service. Some entrepreneurs, maybe like yourself, are raising $500,000, $1 million, $2 million, $5 million. Amounts that are super life-changing for you and your business, but too small for our done-for-you model. Here's the reality. It takes the same work for someone to raise $2 million as it does to raise $200 million. Yet for our firm, the payoff is so much different, as you can imagine, raising for $200 million. And also, for yourself, why would you pay a firm like mine or like many others these large upfront retainers that are sometimes $50,000 to $100,000 and then take a back-end fee of 2 to 6% when the money actually comes in? Why would you do that when you don't have to? Most founders would rather learn the skill themselves and keep the fees in their pocket, which I completely respect, understand, and that's exactly how I started. So instead of turning everyone away who doesn't fit our done-for-you model, I created this program for entrepreneurs who either want to learn the skill and execute the raise themselves with expert guidance and raise amounts below our done-for-you minimums, and who need to understand the fundraising process before scaling to larger raises. Because look, you're an entrepreneur. You're not just going to do one raise in your life. You're going to have another raise and the next raise and the next raise. So learning the skill of capital raising is the highest ROI skill that you could ever have. Look, I have multiple businesses and I have a very significant real estate portfolio. I have lots of deal flow, but I also know the value in teaching others how to do this for themselves. Again, raising capital is the most incredible skill that you could ever learn. And the best thing about raising capital, it's teachable. It's a science. It's a learned skill. The reality is this: I wasn't born with some crazy innate ability to be able to dunk a basketball like LeBron James or Michael Jordan. God didn't give me that. And most of us, he didn't give us that skill either. But we can all learn how to develop a skill like raising capital. And once you understand how capital raising actually works, it changes everything about how you actually build your business. So let me talk about why founders fail at fundraising and how we actually fix it. There's a few different reasons. Reason number one, they're pitching the wrong investors. Most founders waste 3 to 6 months pitching to investors who were never going to invest in their deal or in their deal type. And look, I'm sure you've seen this. Maybe you've done it. I've done it in the past when I first started, so it's super normal. Like a real estate investor pitching to tech VCs, or B2B SaaS founder pitching to consumer angel groups, or a $2 million raise pitching to investors who only write $50,000 checks. How do we fix this? Well, we help you identify investors who are actively seeking deals just like yours. Access to over 200 plus pre-vetted investors segmented by industry, check size, stage, geography are just in our network that we call the Wealth Circle that you get to be a part of alone. Not to mention our thousands and thousands of other investors that we put you in touch with. We personally help you prioritize the top 20 to 30 highest probability investors that will invest or possibly invest in your deal. And instead of pitching hundreds of people and maybe getting 2 or 3 yeses, you could pitch 30 people and get 8 yeses because you're dialed in. Reason number 2, and this is a big one, people's deal structure scares away investors. Look, I've seen brilliant founders with incredible businesses get rejected constantly because their valuation was 3 times too high for their stage. Their terms were super founder friendly, but not investor friendly whatsoever. Or they were asking way too much, or maybe they were asking way too little. Their use of funds made no sense at all. They just didn't understand how to structure a proper deal for an investor. It's a psychology game, raising capital. They aren't what we call investable. And if you're not investable, you need to become investable. And 99% of people trying to raise capital are not investable. But you can easily become investable. So how do we fix this? Well, first off, we will review your deal structure. In your first one-on-one call with us, we will go over your deal structure. And we will help you model out realistic valuation based upon your comps and your financial models. We show you how to structure terms that actually attract investors while protecting your equity in your business. And then we'll pressure test your use of funds because investors want to know what the use of funds are. That's one of their biggest questions. So we're going to pressure test that to make sure it's compelling and it's right, not just for you, but for the investor. And the results are investors start to say yes much faster because the deal is structured properly for them from day one. The third main reason why founders fail at fundraising is because they do not have a systematic process. They just wing it. Look, most founders approach fundraising like this. Send some emails when they remember to actually do it. Take random coffee meetings with anyone who will actually listen. Spend weeks crafting the perfect pitch deck and they don't even know what that is. And then they get discouraged after being rejected 10 times. and then they just give up. We've all been there. So how do we fix that? Well, first off, we have 2 weekly coaching calls with you that will keep you accountable and keep you moving forward. We give you the exact pitch deck templates, the email scripts, the DMs, the follow-up sequences, the pitch frameworks, all of it. It's done for you right there in our program, in our platform. You work through a proven 90-day sprint. Week 1 through week 5 is prep, understanding, getting ready. Week 6 through 12 is pitching. Week 13 plus is closing. And yes, you can do it much faster. But here's the deal. You're never alone. You have weekly access to someone who's closed over $1 billion in raises and a team that's closed over $1 billion of raises. You have access to our entire network and other founders and people raising money right now just like you. And the result is that you will move with speed and confidence instead of guessing and hoping. And this process that I'm about to cover is the same process that I've not only used to raise over $1 billion in private capital, but also my buddy Victor. He used this same system to secure $40 million recently. And this just happened recently in our group. We have an incredible network that you can talk with other people just like yourselves. We put in our playbooks and our scripts and we talk about our wins and we talk about failures. We talk about all of it together. You have a full ecosystem of people doing exactly what you're doing, and you have every resource you could ever need to learn how to raise capital, including access to me and my team at all times on the platform, and weekly calls with us. It's absolutely incredible. So yeah, Victor secured $40 million investor recently, and it's absolutely awesome. He's been in the program about 3 months. Also, Tiki used our program to raise $3 million to cover the closing payment for a $50 million acquisition that she had. She's an incredible human being, absolutely incredible, super smart, very, very articulate, and she used our program to secure the same type of capital that Victor did. And also Arjun. Arjun raised $2 million for one of his real estate deals in Miami recently. And he's raised a lot more than that, but that was just a recent one that he had. He put in here, again, this is all from our networking platform, the pictures you're seeing. Big update with everyone. Middle of August, I met with the new investor group about one of my multifamily projects. After a lot of back and forth, we came to final terms yesterday. They officially committed $2 million. Super excited. You can read the rest. And also Oscar. Great guy. Oscar is absolutely incredible. He raised $550,000 for his multifamily real estate deal as well. And yes, we have a lot of real estate people. We have business acquisition people. We have people that are in health. We have people that are in entertainment. We have individuals right now that are Emmy Award winners in our program. It's all walks of business. Doesn't matter what business you're in. Raising capital and learning the structure of raising capital is all the same. And we show you that from start to finish. And when I say finish, not just when the capital is in your account, but what do you do afterwards? How do you communicate with the investors? What do you say? How do you keep them updated? We go through it all. How to structure your business properly for a capital raise, how to actually pitch, how to put together your 1 or 2 pager, how to put together your pitch deck, all of it. How to put together your data room, which most people definitely don't know how to do. They either put too much or they put too little. We break it down because raising money is a science, and we show you that science. So now that you're still with me, let's get into it. The actual process and how this actually works. So phase 1, we're going to get you investor ready. We're going to get every piece of your fundraising infrastructure dialed in. And here's what we do. First, we have a deal structure review. I and my team personally review your target raise, your valuation, your terms. If you have a pitch deck, we're going to optimize that. We're going to review it professionally. My RIA firm and my staff there will review your deck. We will give you incredible feedback, very detailed, with proven templates that will actually work for you. We know the framework of pitch decks, and most people do it wrong. And it's not online. You're not going to find this information just randomly online. Raising capital is like this little secret world, and we're exposing it. We're showing everyone how to actually do this. If you need a brand new pitch deck from the start, we have that service for you too. We work with another company who's raised over $4 billion with their decks, and we work with them very closely when we need to create a brand new deck. We're also going to do a financial model review. We're going to make sure that your projections are actually realistic and that they're compelling. Because what most founders do because they have these crazy financial projections if everything were to go perfect, and it throws investors off. We want to see you base case everything, because if you can base case and still be profitable and still give a return to an investor, well, now you have a really good possible deal. We're going to talk about compliance and give you the docs. We're going to ensure you have the right legal structure for you raise. We have templates, legal templates for you to give to your lawyers or to use to cut your costs down. We're also going to talk about your data room setup. We talk about this very, very detailed, how to organize all your documents so investors can actually access everything that they need and not too much of what they don't need, but they can do it instantly. And then we're going to talk about your pitch. We're going to coach you on your pitch. We're going to practice your pitch with real pitch framework to keep you on track and to stop over talking, because most people over talk. By week 5, you're going to have an investor-ready pitch deck, financial model projections, 1 or 2 pager with executive summary, proper data room with all the due diligence materials, the way investors want to see it, not the way you think they want to see it, the way they actually want to see it. Your cap table if you're an equity or debt raise, and you're going to have the confidence to actually pitch properly to investors. We're also going to provide you a list of 50 to 100 targeted investors inside of your niche. Once you're ready to roll, you're going to have people to reach out to immediately. And this is where most founders waste 3, 6, 12 months or more, and a lot of people just give up. We compress this. We compress it into 5 quick weeks through weekly coaching, proven templates, master classes. We have so much stuff to give you. All right, so phase 2, our investor network access. And the goal here is to get you in front of qualified investors who are ready to deploy capital. So here's what we do. First off, in the Wealth Circle, inside of our platform, we have over 200 plus vetted investors that are in our network, pre-screened investors actively seeking deals that could be in your space. We do investor matching where we actually help you identify the top 20 to 30 highest probability investors, and we will help you with warm introduction support. We're going to coach you. We're going to tell you exactly what you need to say, warm introductions. We don't actually make them for you all the time, but we will sometimes if it's necessary or if we can. But you are going to know exactly how to approach these people with the right DM scripts, with the right emails, with the right text messages. We show you how to actually do this properly so that you get responses. There's a science behind all of this. We give you the cold outreach templates as well, whether it's email, whether it's LinkedIn. Look, LinkedIn is one of the best platforms you could ever have to raise capital, but not the way that 99% of people in the world do it. They do not know what they're doing. Most of us don't know what they're doing. We have it down to a science. We know exactly how to get responses, what to say, what not to say, what to send, what not to send. We're going to give you all those scripts right here in the program. And then we're going to have a weekly pipeline review. Every Tuesday, every Thursday, during our calls, we will review and talk to you about your investor pipeline and your strategies and the next moves that you should be making. So what you're going to be doing in this time frame, you're going to start pitching people. Pitching 3 to 5 investors a week, following up with interested investors that you've already talked to, scheduling follow-up calls, due diligence meetings, and negotiating term sheets with our guidance and support. And phase 3, it's coaching and accountability. Ongoing for 12 months. You have access to us for 12 months. And there's ways you can have access for us for much longer. But the goal is simple: to keep you moving forward until you close your full raise. So what's included? Well, weekly group coaching calls, Tuesdays and Thursdays with me and my team. And sometimes we have 3 calls a week on marketing and how to actually market better with our marketing team. It's absolutely awesome. You're also going to get a one-on-one onboarding call with me. Your first call is directly with me to review your deal. Not just people on my team, but with me. You're going to get private community access, a network with other founders that are actively raising capital just like you. And look, our network is crazy. It's unbelievable, the people. It literally blows me away when I think about the people in our network. We have people that are CEOs, been CFOs, CEOs, COOs, CROs, people who have sold their companies for tens of millions of dollars. We have people that have raised hundreds of millions of dollars before in our program looking for new ways to raise capital. We have individuals from all walks of life, all different types of businesses, and they're all doing the same thing. Like-minded individuals that are holding each other accountable and that are raising tons and tons of money. Look, Capital Unlocked is absolutely incredible. And one thing that we introduced recently was something called Capital Unlocked AI. It's 24-hour access to an AI-trained GPT that my team and I spent a ton of time on. We fed it everything we know. We fed it thousands of data points on raises that we've done, that we've succeeded on, raises that we haven't succeeded on, all of our curriculum, everything. It's absolutely incredible, and you have 24-hour access to it. It's going to spit out our methodology exactly the way we would do it if we were sitting right next to you. We also have deal review sessions where you can submit your term sheets and get feedback before you actually sign so you know you're making the right decision. And we're going to have follow-up support. Again, 12 months access covers your initial raise and follow-up rounds as well. This is the accountability piece that 99% of people are missing. Look, it's easy to get distracted by operations, or it's really easy to get distracted when you're hearing the word no a lot. We keep you focused on closing the capital that you're needing right now. I touched on this earlier, but we also have weekly coaching calls twice a week and sometimes 3 times a week. And these calls are Tuesdays and Thursdays, and they're led by me or someone senior on my team who have each raised $100 million or more. You're going to submit your deals for live review and feedback and learn from other founders as they pitch, and we go over objections all the time. So look, I could go over so many more features of Capital Unlocked because it's absolutely incredible. I'm talking playbooks and templates. I'm talking videos upon videos, master classes, how family offices raise money. There's so much content. It's absolutely incredible. And we continue to add more and more and more. But let me answer some questions that a lot of people have when it comes to this. And the first one is, hey, look, how much time should I actually dedicate to doing this? And the answer is however much time you want, but I recommend at least 3 to 5, maybe 8 hours a week on average, especially up front because you're building the foundation, right? And you're going to want to take meetings, and those meetings take an hour or 2 sometimes. So that's the truth. And weeks 1 through 2, you're getting investor ready. You're looking at 8 to 10 hours a week just in those first 2 weeks because you're really dialing in your foundation. And when you're starting to do your outreach in week 3 to 5, you can start dialing it back, maybe 5 to 7 hours. We're going to teach you systems, CRM systems. We have a full CRM package that you can start using to cut down your time and start being super, super efficient like you've never been before when raising capital. And then when you're actually really actively raising, let's say in week 6 to 12, that time frame is going to be cut down a little bit more depending on how many meetings, because your system is like a machine now, starting to run. And that's the key. We want to build you a system that runs by itself when you want to raise capital. Another question we get a lot is, look, do you have a guarantee? And I'm going to be honest with you. Look, we don't do guarantees. Here's why. Any company promising you that they're going to raise you capital is lying. It's impossible to do it. And there's a lot of people out there, there's a lot of fraudsters out there right now on the internet that's saying, hey, we're going to raise you capital, or we'll raise you this much, and you're going to pay us $20,000 or $30,000 up front, boom, boom, blah, blah, blah. And they're really just marketing firms that are saying they're investment banks or that and the problem is they're not licensed. They're not licensed. They can't do it legally. But they're out there putting their services out there, and look, they're going to get caught at some point. Whenever that point happens, the SEC does not like this stuff. We're licensed, and we're not telling you we're going to raise you capital. We're telling you we're going to teach you how to do it so that you can go do it yourself over and over and over again. You're going to be investor ready in 5 weeks. You're going to get in front of the right investors. We have the investors for you on our platform, and so many more with other contacts that we have. Tens of thousands of investors that we have that we can help you get in front of. And you are going to be guided every single week by us, by myself and my team. So no, look, we're not going to guarantee that you raise money. That's on you. No one can. However hard you're going to work, our systems will work 10 times harder because our systems work no matter what you're doing, as long as you put in the work. If you put in the work, you will be successful at anything in life. And if you don't put in the work, just like anything else, you're not going to be successful. Everyone knows that. Same thing here. But the systems and processes that we show you are the exact systems and processes that we have used to raise billions of dollars in so many different industries, in foundations, in trusts, in real estate, in private equity, in venture capital, in healthcare, in entertainment, everything. Another question that we get asked quite a bit, and I get asked a lot, is, hey, Nick, how fast can I raise money? And look, this goes right back to what I said before. I don't know. It depends how hard you're going to actually work at this. We're going to give you the systems and the processes right away. We've had students and people come in, we call them warriors. We've had warriors come in and raise capital super fast. Within a few weeks, raise a lot of capital. We've had people take much longer. It also depends on the size of the raise that you have, how structured your business is right now, or how unstructured it is, how fast or slow you get moving and you understand these concepts. They're not hard to understand, but how much work are you going to put into it? So the short answer is this. It can be really, really, really quick because we have warriors who have raised in just a few weeks. We have other people, it can take you much longer. It can take you months. It can take you a year. Who knows? But the point is, it's up to you. And you got to love that. You got to love when something's up to you. It's on your shoulders. It's not up to somebody else doing it for you. It's up to you because why? Because you can control that. So this is all in your control. And we give you every piece of information, every template, anything you need is in the system at your disposal, ready for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Another question that we get, and I touched on this a little bit earlier, is, hey Nick, is this done for you? Can you just raise the capital for me? Like, I just want you to raise the capital for me. And look, I get it, because raising capital is not easy, so people just think they want it done for them. But the reality is, how could someone really do that? First of all, if they're going to do that, they're going to charge you a large upfront fee, $50,000 to $100,000. That's what it costs to have a real capital raising firm raise capital for you. So do you want to pay that? And the majority of people, there's no reason to. Secondly, they're going to take a 2 to 6% fee on the back end when the capital is actually raised. Do you want to actually deal with that as well? Here's the deal. You're an entrepreneur. This is not the first time you're going to raise capital if this is your first time. You're going to raise capital again and again and again. And unless you're raising large amounts of capital, 50, 100, 200, 500, $1 billion, you need to learn this skill. And even if you are raising that kind of money, you probably already have the skill, okay? So no, this is not done for you. This is done with you. In addition, how could someone like myself or a firm like myself introduce you to our capital partners if we don't know your business, if we don't know your structure, if it's not right, if it's wrong? We're going to look bad. So we help you get structured the way institutions want to see you structured. We help you get structured the way professionals do it. And that's why you're able to raise capital so quickly. Another really good question that we get is, hey, what industries does this work for? And I'm going to tell you right now, all of them. Yes, all of them. Why? Because raising capital is the same. I don't care what industry you're in. I don't even care what country you're in. We do raises all over the world. And I'm talking in the UAE, I'm talking in London, in the UK, in the US, and a lot of other places, because raising capital is the same. There might be different things as far as people and cultures, absolutely. But the structure of raising money is the same no matter where you are and what business that you have, including nonprofits as well. If you're in a nonprofit, this is for you as well. Because raising capital is the same. It's all the same concepts. So it's for every industry. And inside of our program, we have people that are in every single industry you could think of. Healthcare. We have people at Bitcoin. We have tons of people in real estate, because real estate people always need more money because there's always another deal. We have people in the music industry, in the movie industry, in the gaming industry. We have people every walk of life. It doesn't matter. So who's it for? What type of industries is for? All of them. How about this question? Hey, Nick, what if it doesn't work? I'm scared. What if this doesn't work? Well, there's a chance that it won't work. There's a chance that nothing works in life, right? If you don't put the work in, I can promise you it won't work. I can promise you that right now. There's always a possibility things won't work out. But most of the time, when it doesn't work out, when you don't raise capital, when people don't raise capital, it's because they don't know what they're doing. It's because their structure is wrong. They're not structuring things properly for an actual investor. It's because they don't know how to pitch. It's because they don't have the right documents. They don't have the right spreadsheets. They don't have the right pro formas. Whatever it is, there's tons of different reasons. We have to get you what we call investable. If you're investable, it'll work. Because being investable will show investors that you are ready to raise money, and you know exactly where the money's going, and you know exactly how to return the capital to them. So when you're investable, it works. We get you investable. That's what Capital Unlock does. That's what me and my team do. We get you investable. We work with you every single week. We work with you through our app every single day. You have direct access to us through our app. We're on calls with you every week, and we help you and show you what you need to do to get this capital raised. And here's what I want to show you. Look, this process, our process, has been proven over and over and over again to get results. And in case you still don't believe me, I'm going to show you some more results from inside of our network and inside the Capital Unlocked program and what we call the wealth circle. Here's some more quick wins from our group for you to see. Here's one from Hannah. She's absolutely awesome. She said, oh my God, I have to share this. Last night, I just got a $2.5 million commitment for my brand. It's structured as a convertible note, split in 2 tranches. This feels so unreal. I've been grinding for months, having conversations, fixing my deck, tweaking my numbers, overthinking everything, and second guessing everything. Look, this is what we see every day inside of our program. Here's Sophia. This was an awesome one for me pretty recently. Wanted to share a huge win with everyone. We just officially hit $6.2 million raised for our Charlotte property. Final $2 million came from a Texas physician group. After the investor Zoom we prepared for with Nick a few weeks ago, that call completely changed the energy and gave them the confidence to move. Absolutely awesome. This is a really good one. Tawana is an absolute incredible human being, and she wrote in this just a few months back in July. I just want to encourage you and say this program works, and it is absolutely worth the investment. I'm in week 4 right now, and after a mindset shift this week, I made the decision to fully commit. Over 3 days, Saturday through Monday, I sent 40 cold emails each day to investor lead group using my structured manifesto. This is all stuff that we teach you, by the way. If these words aren't in your brain right now, we show you and teach you all this. And gained real traction. 3 are willing to fund $40 million raise. 1 wants to invest $15 million. 1 is offering 10. Look, this is phenomenal. Nick, your process works. I hope I'm making you proud. Look, and Tawana, yes, you are, so thank you. But this stuff works over and over and over again. So if you want to learn the proven system, a proven process on how I've been able to raise my partners and I over $1 billion in private capital, and how we can have you do the same, how we've helped these warriors, these students achieve their goals, it's really simple. Here's the next steps. Book your strategy call with my team. If you're still reading this and you're still here, you're likely a good fit. The next step is simply to book a 30 to 45-minute strategy call with our team. And on that call, what we're going to do, we're going to review your business. We're going to review your fundraising goals. We're going to assess if you're a good fit for the program and vice versa. We're not trying to take anyone. We can't take anyone. We're so hands-on that we can't just take anyone and everyone. It wouldn't work. And we're also going to answer any remaining questions you have. I'm sure you have a lot. And you should. We're going to be able to answer that. There's no pressure on this call. We are going to discuss pricing. We are going to discuss payment options if you are interested, but there's no pressure. We're here to help. We want to see people raise money. And what we are building, we've already built it, but we are building the biggest and baddest capital raising network, professional capital raising network that the world has ever seen. We've already built it, but we're continuing to build it with people like yourselves. People that are influential, people that have done great things and are doing something new, people that are in a new field, people that want more. So come join us, Capital Unlocked, come join us in the wealth circle and be around people just like you who are doing what you're doing. I look forward to seeing you there. Take care.